But then, you know, with these guys, you know, De La Soul, you get that point where we've done that. We don't need to do that anymore. We just want to make good music and sort of despair at the nonsense we're seeing around us.
Yeah, but they do it in a very classy way, because they do have some of that kind of more aggressive stuff on here, but it's like you don't notice it until a bit later, until you really peep the lyrics. This is something I'm probably going to do this episode. This is one of the few times where I've literally taken little of their verses and put them in here in my notes, because this is another thing I want to call attention to, which really irritates me, is when hip-hop artists or MCs, especially of this caliber, don't get placed up as just writers or lyricists or poets amongst people like Shakespeare and whoever else, right?
Yeats and stuff, yeah,
it's like a Carlo would kind of, you know, this is the kind of thing he would really push, is that, you know, that if you took away the names and just showed the lyrics, you probably wouldn't be able to tell who wrote Eminem's verse on Renegade. I mean, he's actually done that experiment where he asked people, he would say a line, a couple lines from a hip hop song, and then ask the crowd. It's in a TED talk he does. He would ask the crowd, who do you think wrote that? Do you think that was Shakespeare? Put your hands up if you do. And loads of people did. It was an Eminem lyric. And there's like Jay-Z lyrics and Nas lyrics that he's done that. And then he rapped like the Shakespeare verse to a beat to show the kind of it uses the same cadence and rhythm that MCs just naturally intuitively use. And then he did it even over a sped up beat as well, because of the rhythm. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'd urge anyone listening to this to go and find that.
Iambic pentameter.
That's it. Iambic pentameter, right? And it's not something, you know, when you're an MC, it's not something you're formally taught, right? And
but it's
something
just it's in there.
Yeah, because it's all music, right? It's still music. You still pick up on the rhythm and everything like that, because you know when someone's offbeat, you know when someone can't flow, and you know when you hear those amateur rappers who really need to touch up on that, and it's awkward to listen to. It's not very well defined. There is an art to that, and you know, you can feel it just intuitively, you know, where to land on the beat and stuff. And there's just so many great moments on here, like
so many
great lyrical moments on here. Like there's one that I put down. His rap career ain't work, it's the life in between. Bedtime till the next said time and date. Know the name and salute them dudes. Put the nutrient in rap when they cook them foods. Gotta be like 18 million heads served. Shit, imagine if there wasn't no us, huh? Like, it's just like that's just fucking the ways. I could break down all these bars, man. Like even though it's called like the grind date, it's like even the title track kind of exemplifies that in terms of its concept. Like there's this, I'm gonna hit some more bars, man.
Yeah, like, please do.
I hate losing to those who walk away with my dough, cause I goes crazy broke, man. And now she wanna see the resident provoking me to pop wheelies on my bicycle. Watch her eyes twinkle. One house, two houses, third house. House rules, the house take bank. Watch Dave Bank. Banner had him on the Hawks since Atlanta extravaganza. Gamma ray rap, I make the Hulk snap. Like, oh man, the technical. I don't think people understand. If you're, you know, how I mentioned once before that, you know, when people like love listening to singers hit high notes and things like that, and they talk about, oh, I love the harmonies and all this sort of stuff. This is our equivalent for MCs, right? They should break this stuff down in English classes, because it's just so fucking beautifully put together, and just the way MCs play with their words and their rhyme formats, and you don't always notice it, like how certain lines, words are rhyming with each other, but then within the sentence, these words rhyme with each other, and it's called an internal rhyme, and then they'll have a new rhyme scheme, but then they'll bring it back to the first one later on. Someone like MF Doom does that sort of shit.
MF Doom he's the master of it. Novelist is another one that I think is a close second. His rhyme schemes are unbelievable.
Novelist is part of Clear Soul Forces, right?
Yeah.
No wonder. Those guys fucking...
They're elite. They are elite. The thing is, like...
Special.
Yeah, So for me, like, I do not doubt their abilities at all. But I think I listened to their most recent album, and it did, like, musically didn't gel with me. It was they wanted to go in a different direction, which is fair enough. I think they've earned the plaudits to do so. But some of their earlier tracks, like Can't Get No Better, Knuckle Up, Orange Fago, like songs like that, are just unbelievable to listen to. But to come back to your point about the rhyme schemes of MCs being taught in English classes, and who's to say that won't happen in 50 years time? It's we're gonna have to. I mean, I think Eminem will be studied. I really do. Hopefully guys like De La Soul, hopefully like Kendrick Lamar will be as well. Because he's a
Pimp a Butterfly album should be dissected.
Yeah, because he's super clever with his rhyme schemes. I mean, especially like the first song I ever heard of Kendrick was Rigor Mortis, and I had to print off the lyrics because I could not believe that he was rhyming that succinctly and that perfectly in one breath. He went for I think like 48 seconds or something like that, just right at the start. It's amazing what he can do. So I think they will be studied because it is an art form that you have to live and breathe it to be good at it. And the dedication to lyrical perfection, it's got to be it's got to be recognized one day. Anyway, let's hope it will be.
It can't just be because it's I don't know, what's the word, like academic or whatever. It's like, just because, yes, there's a few bad words in there, so fucking what? Like, just, and I'd hate to bring up, because it just sounds so dumb, but yes, it's like, I'm pretty sure the fact that it's a form of black music, and therefore the unconscious bias still sees it as threatening and whatever else, is like, it's not taken as seriously. That has to be mentioned. There's no shying away from that. I'm pretty sure that's a big part of it, because I've flat out heard people say, oh, it's just it's not very what's the word, it's not very wholesome, or it's not very, when it's like, there's so much hip hop like De La Soul, which is wholesome.
Yeah, you're not listening to the right. You just haven't heard the right. Hip hop basically. If you're listening to, I don't know who's super aggressive. I don't know. Oh my gosh, is it Danny Brown? If you listen to
if you're just listening to Danny Brown, you might think that's what all that hip hop is. If you're listening to just Migos, you might think that that's all that hip hop is.
Exactly. You got to delve deep. You got to know the subject.
There's so much variation within the genre, right? So, and I mean, these guys are doing certain things that other MCs aren't doing, like in terms of flow patterns or in terms of vocal dexterity. There's all these different things that different artists do. That's what's beautiful about hip hop. So much variety, so much genre is built off of innovation, from taking samples and repurposing them and making brand new music out of that. Hip hop, like the fact that we have trap beats now is because it started to adopt it from other genres and turn it into something new. Who knows where it's going to go? Who knows where it's going to keep going? MCs keep on pushing the boundary of what's acceptable. When you hear an amateur MC now, you're hearing multi-syllable rhymes, right? That's considered standard now. Yeah. Whereas before it wasn't, Now it's, well, what else are you doing? What else are you putting into that? What are you saying? How are you delivering it? What are you doing with your voice, etc.? What pockets of the beat are you? There's so much when you dive in deep. Coming at you with another one. Them drums say the revolution is near. Are you listening? Are your eardrums open for christening? We god body MCs with these tools, while some others play God, they just goddamn fools with it. I don't cuff mics, I rough mics up rough and rugged, yet the girls still love it. Still an all 5-0 came to my mic check, telling me I left lacerations around my mic's neck. Fuck.
That's on Much More, isn't it? Yeah, that is incredible. Yeah, it's brilliant.
My days, like, just this whole thing is just an exercise, and it's not, it doesn't force it on your like doesn't force it on you. They're like, look, we're rhyming sick like this, and we're better than you. Kind of like,
it's almost behind the music. Like it's almost it's mixed so close to the music that you don't. It takes like a listen or two to hear what's really going on.
For sure. And I think with hip hop, again, kind of tying it back into the whole kind of having it even studied for academic use, I think actually a lot of hip hop might be wasted on people if you don't go and read along the lyrics and kind of really actually study it. It's almost hip hop is a genre I think that really calls for study, like for people to actually study it. And a part of that may be just reading up the lyrics and things like that, and actually seeing what they're saying and what they're doing, not just how they're saying it, because it's just as important. And you might not notice, right?
Yeah, I think I will get it and I will try and post it. There was a YouTube video. This is a good few years ago, and my friend Chris sent it to me. And it basically details like how good MCs, can be. And it lists MF, Andre 3000 and Kendrick as like the three best, I think it is. I saw this maybe about 4 years ago. Dude, I can't remember whatsoever, but I just remember them delving into like Andre 3000's wordplay and stuff, and I've been an Outkast fan for years and years, so I was just like, nothing new to me. But then when they like broke it down, I was again surprised by the ability of that man. He's stealth genius. MF is kind of like, well, I'm MF Doom. If you know me, then you know I'm a G. With him it's standard. With Andre 3000 though, it takes listens to sort of understand how good he is. And I think that reading along the lyrics, you're absolutely right. It does. The words then jump out at you in a different way, as opposed to being like sonically stimulated. If you're reading it, then your brain's like literally taking it in, and you might be able to derive more meanings or see the rhyme schemes and identify with the music that way.
For sure, I agree. I think is that the video where it kind of highlights the words as it's going along?
That's
and it shows
correct.
It going off the bar line and stuff like that, and shows how Biggie kind of does the rhyme chains and things like that. Yeah, I think that's a Vox video.
Okay,
so,
cool.
There's a woman narrating it. You remember that?
Dude, I can't remember.
Okay,
sorry.
Fine. I'm trying to jog your memory of what it might be.
No, I just remember, because I remember I was driving. I was on the way to like some dead end job, and like I remember I was driving on the motorway, and I was just listening to it, and I was like, "Holy moly!" Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting, man. Like, there's
Really
so much kind of depth that's within just bars. Like, there's this great set of bars in Grind 8. Introduced to the block, got used to the block, but your neighbors be the ones who throw shit on your lawn. It's like every single time we pop, they get annoyed, but we got ahead and we got along. And putting work on the calendars, worst on them calendars, worth of hump days that broke the camel's back. The grind will make today look grey and paint a tainted picture of tomorrow's in enamel black. Like, I should, like, even though I'm the only one reading this off my phone, I want to like highlight in bold like what rhymes or what, because they rhyme lawn with annoyed. That's not obvious when I read it out like that, but the way they deliver it, they're stretching the word, something that a lot of MCs do, like Eminem and Royce and Kendrick and them. The camel's back, enamel black, and there's even a soft rhyme with calendars. Introduced to the block, got used to the block, and then they rhyme that with we got along every single time we pop. Those are in between the lawn annoyed thing, and then they move into the camel's back, enamel black. Yeah, man, like, it's just hard. The early bird gets the worm in this rotten apple, but explore deep and you will find the seed. Plant more ether, get your mind free. We roll passionate, put your lights last in it. You're holding fear too close, unfasten it. And like old age invades youth, invade falseness with truth, replace rebelling with rebirth, face new dwelling, that's your turf. Bruv.
Listen, these guys they're about raising not just their game, they are about the community They like are all about everybody else as well. This is kind of why I gave the album to you like last week, because I was like, you'll appreciate it, but I hope you'll feel uplifted. Just listening to you recite those lyrics, I felt it in my chest. Like that, I'm so like happy that it resonated with you. You know,
but he's another example of like putting words together in such a way that's just so skillful, and then delivering them in such a way that you just think, I don't even care what you fucking said.
He's a hurricane. He's a hurricane of syllables.
Oh, mate. And it's like, the way he goes over the beats, it's like, it almost sounds like he's just kind of, he's just throwing it at you, but he lands all the right parts and he stops at all the right parts, and it's just madness, man.
So what I find with Ghostface, right, is no matter what music, like no matter how you mix him, he is always above the music. Like, do you know what I mean? You could mix him, like you could literally like try and put him like below
try and
the
put
music.
his vocal down.
Calm.
It's not gonna happen. He's gonna his delivery outweighs the sonics. It's like his mic technique. Yeah, it's gonna cut through.
That's correct. Yeah.
No matter what. When he does this, he comes in with the Tony Tanner with big hammers for mad manners who got 'em. We kiss cannons for Scrangler's crew and his whack dancers. Biting is forbidden, pa. Pay that tax and don't you ever look at us funny. Boy, we'll bring rap back and that will hurt you like Superman chased by a group of men with dynamites. Real hip hop, but do you with like dynamites?
It's beautiful, man. He's amazing.
I don't even know what I fucking said then, but it just sounds so good. And just
so attacking as well. You know, like when you use like lots of like harsh sounding syllables and things.
Yeah.
You know, like it just sounds like you're on the attack. And plus with his cadence and his tone and the timbre in his voice.
Yeah.
My goodness, you're just like, whoa, Ghostface. Like, well, we're friends here. We're all friends here.
We're all friends.
Just need to relax. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths. Like he's one of those MCs that is like, I am 100 miles an hour all the time. I'm all action all the time, and never ever stop doing that.
But they talk about in that song, they're talking about the industry, right? And so it's less about the commercialization. It's still about commercializing hip hop, but it's like the kind of ins and outs as opposed to what we're seeing on the mainstream. So like when they have lyrics like, it's the nature of the business. They give in N-words, inches, taking miles and mules. It's the wildest rules. I'm trying to walk in the black scent of proudest shoes, making music that the crowds can use. That's Common, right? Like, and again, Common's one of those guys who sounds like when they're just talking.
Yeah.
It just happens to flow and the words just happen to rhyme. He's just talking to you. It's just, oh shit, he rhymed all those words that he was talking to you while he gave you the speech.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, man.
He's the archetypal narrator of rap.
Yeah, he's got a great voice for that.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I would listen to him recite the dictionary or the alphabet. Like genuinely, I think
all the meanings of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, people say that.
Imagine it.
Yeah, people say Morgan Freeman's got a good voice, and he does. Like, don't get me wrong, but like Common's up there. Like he's like
definitely up there.
Oh, it's like melted chocolate. It's just, it's just wonderful.
Good. He's got Posta News. Like, I wrote Posta News sons these MCs. Like when he's like going at them, right, in such a De La way. Like it's like savage, but the way he does it is just so. When he's like, my mom's died from secondhand smoke, so I wish your ass would die from them secondhand rhymes you wrote. Or shall I call them second rhymes, written seconds before you enter the booth? Words thrown together with very little truth, and a select few can do it, true. You ain't part of them scriptures and got the nerve to feel you want me out of the picture, but I was never in it. I'm the frame around the flick, audition in the mouth of your dame around my dick. Like, there's so much going on there. Take away the rhyme schemes, like the whole secondhand smoke, but I'd wish you die, as in you just disappear because of those stupid secondhand rhymes you wrote. And then for him to go, actually, I'll call them second rhymes because you wrote them, you recorded them the second you wrote them. You know, that whole kind of, I just wrote some bars, man. Yeah. Let's throw me in the booth. I don't do that other shit, you know. But then the fact that he acknowledges that there are a select few that can do that. So I'm guessing, you know, he's probably referring to people like Jay-Z and Tupac. Like Tupac was known to just bang out song after song after song.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So we're talking an upper echelon of not even just MCs, but human beings, right? Like in terms of mentality and ability. He's saying you are not like that.
There are only a few that can do that. Like you got to work and hone your talent, basically.
Literally, yeah. You when he mentions, you know, you think you're not part of the scripture. Like you're not part of the hip hop elite. You're not part of the hip hop Bible. You're not Moses. You're not Jesus in this story of hip hop, right? You can't just walk on water.
Yeah,
that's something that's for a reserved few of, like, you know, whatever God's choosing. So in terms of hip hop, there are only a few that can do these kind of incredible feats, such as going into the booth, rapping some shit, and that's it. Just banging out 10 songs a night, and they all are high quality. You're not one of them, right? So don't try it.
Who is, though? Because
yeah, like there's a very select few that can do that.
That can, yeah.
You know, but it's just the way he densely packs that into the rhymes, and he acknowledges that, you know, it could have been easy for him to be like, oh yeah, you wrote those rhymes seconds before you went into the booth, and then left it at that.
Nah,
you know,
too many words. Yeah, he's just like, too many words. Let me just make it make sense in a very succinct.
It's very succinct,
punchy way.
And but yet he still goes on to acknowledge that there are some people that can do it. So I'm not dissing all of you.
Yeah,
you're not them, right? So it's like simultaneously bigging them up and saying and humbling these guys, like, you know,
look, know your place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the whole picture, but I'm in the frame, so I'm all around you, you know. And then obviously the power flex with the wife part and whatever, and then it's like it's all so densely packed and that's just the first quarter of his, or first third of his verse.
Yeah,
you know, that's not even the whole verse that I quoted.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a few times I had to like stop myself just highlighting the whole verse and throwing them.
It's really difficult. I think it's a really I think it's a very accomplished album, to be fair.
Oh, definitely.